Which big adventure bike, the big ADV, is the best on the market right now? Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell for all future videos. And don't forget to check out the website RevelatorAlf.com for all the latest biking news. So, which is the best, the very best big adventure bike right now? So in recent years, what's been happening is that the adventure bike has really taken over the motorcycle market in many different countries. It's become a very popular all-round motorcycle for touring, obviously doing a bit of off-road riding. It's a fits-all riding situation motorcycle for the most part. Now, whether you like the style or not is another matter. But what's been happening is that many manufacturers, they produce the big, large-scale ADV bike, over 1000cc, 1200, 1300cc motorcycle, let's say. But over the last few years, these same motorcycle manufacturers have been starting to release mid-size adventure motorcycles or smaller size motorcycles in the region of about 700 to 900cc. This has also fueled a desire for other motorcycle manufacturers to produce small displacement engine ADV style bikes. And this could be from 125cc, 250, 350cc motorcycles as well. Still very capable in the off-road setting, but not in terms of going comfortable at high speeds. So there's lots of selection now for the style of motorcycle, the ADV, throughout the CC range, whether it's mid-range or whether it's low-powered engines. But for this video, I'm purely talking about the large ADV motorcycles and which are on the market. Okay, so there are a few to choose from, but let's just talk about the big ones right now. Let's just talk about the most commonly known. You've got the BMW GS. They've been flying the flag for many years in the big ADV world, and with the R1250 GS ruling the roost in many quarters. However, now for 2024, as we now know, BMW are bringing out the R1300 GS. Slightly bigger engine, different technology, more updated technology as well, which is really competing now with some other motorcycle manufacturers that really started to top the tree in terms of the big ADV specs. Now, the likes of Triumph with their GT and their rally bikes, with the GT being more road focused, the rally being more off-road focused. So you have those lower specs, then you have the Pro versions, and then you have the Explorer versions, which have heated seats, let's say, and a long-range fuel tank in the region of about 30 litres. However, the power coming from that 1200 triple is substantial, and in sport mode as well, you're really getting a lot of motorcycle for the amount of money that you're paying, and it comes in the region of about £1,500 to £2,000 less than the BMW GS as it stands. The other motorcycle of note is the KTM Super Adventure S, for the more road focused, or the R, which is the more off-road focused as well. Again, great tech on these bikes, and the sport mode on these bikes just delivers one hell of a punch. Now, we can't discount Harley Davidson with their Pan America 1250, which came out a couple of years ago now and surprised a lot of people with how capable it was and how un-Harley Davidson like it was. Obviously now these bikes are running with the Revolution Max engine, these liquid cooled engines from Harley Davidson, so a real departure for them, and this new technology for the company is really paying dividends, and a lot of eyes went on to Harley Davidson. In fact, in the United States, the Pan America was the biggest selling adventure motorcycle last year, and that's no surprise, you would imagine, because obviously they're catering to the American crowd. So we've got Triumph, we've got KTM, we've got BMW, and of course we've got Harley Davidson. Now, I always make a bit of a play here for the Japanese brands. We've got Honda with their Africa Twin, a very capable machine, and it's actually really lovely to ride, and the power is on point, and it's a very balanced motorcycle. And the Africa Twin is also very off-road capable as well. Then we're looking to more road-focused motorcycles from the Kawasaki with the Versys 1000 and all the variants that it has. Then you're looking at Suzuki with the V-Strom, and you have the DE, the 1050 DE, which is the more off-road focused, and just the 1050, which is more road focused. Both the Kawasaki Versys, the Suzuki V-Strom and the Honda Africa Twin are not exactly budget motorcycles, but you're probably going to save yourself £1,000 or £2,000 off the Triumph and certainly off the BMW as well. Still not exactly to the spec or to the off-road capability, let's say, of the other big four, but certainly very capable motorcycles as well. Now at this stage you could say those are the big ADV bikes on the market. If you drop down a couple of 100cc, then you're looking at other motorcycles that these brands also produce. For example, the Tiger 900 from Triumph, but then you've got other manufacturers as well who come into the fold. You could look at MV Agusta with their Turismo Veloce. You could also look at Motomarini with their 650X Cape as well. And let's not forget the V85 TT from Moto Guzzi as well, which is really a very nice motorcycle as well. Now looking at this mid-range motorcycle as well, you've also got the Chinese influence now, and they're starting to produce quite decent motorcycles, certainly in this CC range, and also looking at the ADVs as well. Check out CF Moto with their 800 MT. So if you want something a little bit more exotic, let's say, you could go for the Motomarini, you could go for the MV Agusta, and you certainly could go for the Moto Guzzi as well. But if we're talking about the big ADV, certainly 1000C plus, then you're really looking at the BMW, Triumph, KTM, Suzuki and the Kawasaki, and of course the Harley Davidson. But hark, I hear you cry, what about the Ducati Multistrada? Well, yes, again, what a lovely machine that is as well. And this motorcycle has been around for a number of years and is a fabulous motorcycle, and it has the performance to match as well. The engine on this bike would be right at home in any sports bike as well. So it's a great motorcycle, and there are different variants as well which will lend it to more off-road focus and more road focus as well. But obviously this comes in at a hefty price as well, and it's certainly on par with the BMW GS at the top range as well. So it's an expensive motorcycle, but at the same time very capable. But if you're sticking to the road, then the Multistrada is a fabulous motorcycle with lots of power. Certainly exciting riding for solo riding, but certainly lots of power for two-up riding as well. But with the boxes and top box, a great bike for touring and also potentially some off-road capability as well. Now bear this in mind that Ducati are also bringing out the 2024 version of the Multistrada, which is the Tour, the Multistrada Tour. So that is more tour focused, less off-road capability, but more on-road capability with a lot more of the higher tech as well. We also can't discount Ducati for their off-road capability with their Desert X, which came out a couple of years ago now, and I tipped it to be one of the top sellers of the year, and it was actually a great motorcycle, an improving motorcycle in off-road environments as well. So if we're talking about the best adventure motorcycle right now, or the best large ADV motorcycle right now, you've got to separate style and personal preference to actual capability. And then you've got to subdivide that again into whether it's road focus or off-road focus. And then you've got to further subdivide it into value for money. You can see where I'm going here. This is a very difficult decision to make. And certainly if we're looking for the off-road capability, then certainly we would look at all of the major players and their off-road variants motorcycle. And they're all very capable. They're all very good. It's very hard to say which is better than the other. Some people would lean towards what is the latest technology and which is the greatest advancements over the last couple of years. And sometimes those leaps forward in technology is actually to the detriment of the overall feel and usability, but not necessarily the capability of these big ADVs as well. So once again, the technology has moved on, and some motorcycles are definitely better in terms of the technology and certainly better value than others as well. But if we're just looking at the off-road capability, then you've really got to be looking at those 1000cc plus motorcycles. You've got to be looking at the proven BMW GS. You've got to be looking at Triumph with their Explorer or their Pro version motorcycles. And you cannot discount the KTM Super Adventure R for the off-road capability as well. Now, if we're talking about on-road capability and on-road touring capability and a general all-round great motorcycle, then all of these motorcycles with their road versions would be absolutely fantastic. And they are proven motorcycles. But then you're bringing in the Ducati Multistrada, you're also bringing in the Harley Davidson Pan America as well. And really at this stage, they're all very, very good motorcycles. They're all very capable. Which is the best? Which is my favorite out of all of these? And here's the rub. I do not have one favorite. I have the KTM Super Adventure R for out and out hooligan fun. Just absolute mind-boggling power, especially in the sport mode. I have the Triumph GT or the Pro for just overall refinement. I have the BMW for just rideability, just the way it rides and the technology on it. Even though it's now being superseded by the R1300 GS, it's just a fabulous all-round motorcycle. But then I look at the Kawasaki Versys and I think very nice motorcycle. But I would favor the Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE. So if I were to say what is the best ADV right now as an overall package and value for money, then there's only one that I will be pushing right now. And this may surprise a lot of you, but it is the Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE. That motorcycle is fabulous to ride. The engine is absolutely fantastic as well. That V-twin sound, the way it feels, the way it rides. If you can get over the color of it or the color options, it's a fantastic bike. You could also put side boxes and a top box on it, certainly in the road version as well. But overall, that motorcycle, with the value that it brings as well, and also the used bike value, which you can pick these up for a song, the best ADV on the market right now, not for power, not for technology, but for usability, for rideability, and for value for money, in my humble opinion, is the Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE, the off-road variant. However, all of the motorcycles that I've mentioned are top-notch motorcycles, and any one that you choose will be a great choice, I have no doubt. It really comes down to style. It really comes down to personal preference. It really comes down to what you want to do with a motorcycle, whether you want to do more off-road riding or road riding. Personally, as I've said many times before, if you're getting into serious technical off-road riding, then a big ADV motorcycle is not the bike for you. You really want a smaller version, a lot more lightweight version, or certainly go for a sub 500cc motorcycle that will do all those things in a much better way, and it's a much lighter motorcycle. But if you're going to hit a few farm tracks, a few fire roads, let's say, then big ADVs are absolutely fine. And the great thing about ADV bikes is that you can ride long distance with no problem whatsoever. Anyway, so that's it. The best ADV bike on the market, certainly that I've ridden for 2023, when I factor everything in for value for money and out enjoyment of the bike, the Suzuki V-Strom 1050DE. Let us know your thoughts, and I'll catch you again on another video coming very soon. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like and share, subscribe to the channel, hit that notifications bell, and check out the website RevelatorAlf.com for all the latest bike news and specs. Lots of information being put up there now for all the new motorcycles that are going to be coming out for 2024. And I'll catch you again. Bye now.